I think I'm back. I think this is going to be a second part because I lost the whole first broadcast and I don't know if it's saved. But if you can see me, pop into the chat. Let me know you're here. I lost power and everything just disconnected. So it wasn't you, it was me. So we've actually had some power outages happening in my area and it happened now. So pop in, let me know if you're watching, and we will continue the project. And if nobody pops in, then we'll just be done. So I'm not seeing anybody yet. Let me know if you can see me. You might be trying to refresh the other broadcast, but I completely lost the other broadcast. I'm back. Thank you guys. I'm so happy to see you guys pop into the chat. So again, I had a power outage. You guys had nothing to do with that. We've had a lot of power outages in our area this week. The wind, the snow, you know how it goes. So yes, I'm back. Thank you for joining me again. And I am going to continue creating my project. So thank you guys so much for finding me. Yes, power outages in the cold are worst. Thank you, thank you. So maybe the people who missed the first part can catch this one later. Like I said, I really don't know if that first broadcast saved or anything like that. Everything just went black. So we'll see if it did anything, and if not, yeah, you guys don't give up easily. You're right. So I'm going to flip you down to my desk, and we will continue creating our snow flurry background. So I'm not totally sure exactly where I was talking about, but I think I was talking about that make a snowflake background, that we're going to add snowflakes into our snow flurry background. And so we're going to cut out a few more snowflakes. Thank you guys. I am so happy you found me. So there's nothing worse than everything just going black, and what do you even do, right? So I'm using a couple of the large size snowflakes and a couple of the small snowflakes. And I have a bunch cut out already, so I'm just going to run this through the one time to cut those out. We're really on the home stretch of this project, but the snowmen are still available, Kelly. This was a release. The snowmen were released in October, and they should be, unless they're sold out. I don't think they're sold out, but they should be in the Tailored Expressions web store. All right, so I'm cutting out a few snowflakes, and I'm just going to use my little piercing tools to get those little bits out of there. I'm going to pop those into my little dish so that I have them all in one place. All right, let me pop those back on that magnetic sheet, otherwise I will lose my snowflakes and that would be horrible. Okay, I'm just gonna pop my die cut machine off to the side, and we're gonna grab that background. And we are going to adhere the snowflakes all around the sides of the snowman. We're going to put the snowman on very last, but they're going to sit about here and here on the card. So let me think here. Let me put this one up here. Trying to like space out the snowflakes so that I have kind of a good variety of them scattered around the card. Move that one down there. I think I'll put some in here, but I'm going to get these adhered down and kind of get the snowman into place. So this time I am going to use liquid adhesive to get these stuck down. And I am using multimedia matte for my glue. I'm just dotting the glue around the snowflake. And I am going to put them so that they kind of go off the edge of the card. And we're just going to trim those extra pieces off when we are ready. Grab my magnets to hold those in place. And again, just dotting that glue on there. You could cut these out with sticky sheets so you had the double-sided adhesive on them already. That's another option if you don't like to sit and glue with the liquid glue. You could use a tape runner on these as well. The dotted pieces do kind of come off pretty easily. But when I get into doing this kind of thing, liquid adhesive just seems to be the go-to for me. This is better than, so last week we had a power outage and it was out for about a half an hour and it knocked out our modem, so we actually had to go and get a new modem and end up having, you know, they had to come out and make sure everything was all hooked up and everything. So that was an adventure to get that all reset up again, but that is what it is. There's nothing you can do. Okay, so we're going to talk about this sentiment here, where it's whoever said snow is magical clearly never had to shovel the driveway, and I have a little bit of a funny story about that. It was a little bit, it was in the winter, but it was definitely a little bit warmer, and we had a couple inches of snow, and I went out and I shoveled the driveway, and it took me a little bit. I mean, it wasn't awful, but it definitely took me a little bit. So that our driveway was clear. And of course it was sunny enough so the snow melted off the driveway and the driveway was nice and clear by the time my husband got home. And he comes in and he goes, I am so excited. The sun was out and so now the snow it just melted like it was an automatic driveway and I don't have to shovel it. And I just looked at him and I said, I shoveled it. He's like, it didn't just automatically melt? I said, no, I shoveled it. And so I was so upset because I had taken the time to shovel it and he was just insisting that the sun had melted all the snow. But there was enough snow that it wasn't going to melt on its own. I definitely knew I had to do some shoveling, but he just insisted that the weather took care of the snow when I took care of the snow. And it's still something he brings up when it's sunny. He goes, I wonder if I have an automagic driveway. So I always remind him, it's not automagic, which that isn't even a word, but we say it all the time. I shoveled the driveway. And I have lots of experience with that snowblower and, you know, if you live in a place where it snows a lot like here and you shovel the driveway, but then the snowplow comes by and it fills up the end of your driveway with the biggest, heaviest snow chunks ever. And I knew a shovel was not going to be enough, and so I had to do the snowblower to get that driveway end clear. And there was so much snow, I had to hip check the snowblower to get my driveway cleared out for me, and melted the whole side of my winter coat because I had hit, there's always a place on those snowblowers that's like hot, do not touch. But in trying to maneuver this big snowblower around at the end of my driveway, I hit the hot spot and melted my coat. And I was so upset because winter coats are not always the cheapest thing. I did patch it and I wore it because that's just what you do, but it was very traumatizing. Sue, you said, I moved to Texas. No more shoveling for me. We actually got a new snowblower last year, which is, we joke, we didn't get a lot of snow last year in Minnesota. And we all said, well, that's because we bought a snowblower. So if you spend the money on a snowblower, it doesn't snow. I mean, I know that's not totally true, but you know what I mean. All right, I'm going to set these little guys in here, and this guy's going to go about here. Remember, we've got that pink spot there I want to cover up. And let's get this angry guy on here. So that is one thing to think about with the panels, is some of them work a little bit better depending on the space that's left of which ones are going to work good to have to use kind of with the snowman or other things on your card. So this one has a nice big spot on the bottom that worked to add the snowman down there. I actually think that that's pretty good for snowflakes. I have a little tiny bit of space down here, but that's actually not too bad. All right, so right now I have a panel with a whole bunch of stuff sticking out from the sides of it. And we're going to trim those bottoms of the snowman off, even with the bottom of that card. And there's a couple little side pieces here. We'll just snip. So that evens them up with the bottom of the card, and then we're going to cut those snowflake pieces even with the edge of the card as well. There's a really funky skinny piece right there that we're just going to cut off. There we go. One more little edge right up here. That evens everything up with the side of the panel, and we have a almost complete snow flurry background. We are not quite done. We have one more thing we're going to do to that. But let's add this to a card base first, and then we'll do the last little bit of that background. Get my little garbage pieces here out of the way. And we're doing a toffee card base. Surprise! Grab my bone folder quick here, get that crease at the top. And I need I'm going to adhere this down with the 1x3 foam strips. So it's just popped up. This is the thin foam strips. Popped up just a tiny bit from that card base. The panels are already trimmed down to, there's going to be a little bit of a border on your card. So it's not a full A2 size, but it is sized to work on an A2 panel. So it's 4 inches by 5 1/4, so that's going to give you just that little bit of border around the edges. So when you're putting these inside your card, they're just framed up just perfectly. And we're just going to eyeball this in place. These 1x3 strips stick really, really good, so once they're down, they're down. There's not a whole lot of correction here. I have a tiny little piece of something here that I'm going to grab with my scissors. Nope, I didn't quite get it. Sort of got it. I should have my little trimmers out. All right, so the last thing I'm going to add is we're going to scatter a few of this is the Bits and Pieces Shiny White Rhinestones. And we're going to scatter a few of those kind of throughout the background. There are 2 sizes of rhinestones in here. I love the sizes. They're just perfect. And I'm just going to add these kind of in between the spaces of the snowflakes and the snowmen. Just to add, it's going to add that extra texture. It's adding a little bit of sparkle and shine. Probably a little more shine than sparkle, but you know what I mean. Maybe we'll do the big one out here and the little one here. Kind of trying to alternate the big and the small in there. So I usually lay these all out first, and then I'll go back and glue them down. I don't commit until I'm ready. I don't know if I need one there. Maybe here? No. How about here? That feels better. So just kind of add a scattering of those little rhinestones right in there, and then I'm going to grab my pick and place tool and my liquid adhesive. This is the Embelly Jelly pick and place tool. We're just going to add dots of the liquid adhesive, and we're going to adhere those little rhinestones to that background. Gotta be quiet so I can concentrate on my rhinestones. Did I get all of them? Nope. My final test is when I pick up my card, right? And see if any, oh, one did fall off right down here. So I'm gonna put a dot of glue there because it was right about there. There we go. I think I got all of them on there. All right, so here is a final look at that card. And again, whoever said the snow is magical clearly never had to shovel the driveway. So funny, so cute. Where's my other card? Here it is. There's that other fun winter card. So these are really fun, and you know you have the right people to send these cards to, right? Definitely. All right, let me pop you up to the top one more time. Whoop. There we go. Thank you guys so much for joining me today to create some fun wintry snarky cards with the Insider's Snarky Snow Panels and the Snow Much Fun Die and Clear set. I hope you had a great time watching me create today, and I hope you were inspired, and I hope to see your project with the TE Maker Challenge. You can copy the card that I created today, and that totally counts. I don't know if you knew that, but that's true. So you can copy it if you don't want to get too, think too hard or come up with your own idea. You can definitely copy my card. Or create your own, whatever you want to do. So thank you so much. Thank you for your patience when my power went out and finding me again for the second half of this project. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to join Taylor tomorrow to watch her open the Advent calendar box and see what she creates with the things that were in the box for this week. So thank you guys so much. We will see you next time. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.